Okay, hello friends and followers. Tuesday, March 8th, 10:42 p.m. in the Pacific time zone. So, as I've been working away on some stuff for work, guess what I'm doing also? I've been fiddling with this Paragon 2, Tec Paragon 2. So, what's kind of got me irritated about this thing was I would listen to some SSB or CW mode and hear like a wobble sound or just a nasty kind of, almost like an AC tone in this thing. I checked the power supply. The power supply had no ripple at all in it, so I thought, geez, something's wrong with this thing. And as I read some of the comments from people on groups.io for Tentec and other places people had posted, one gentleman was saying the Paragon 2 doesn't have the solder problem with the boards and with the phase lock loop boards. But somebody else was saying, well, if it makes those weird wobbly sounds, warbly sounds with the sideband sounding all garbled and CW, you probably got trouble with the phase lock loop boards. So I didn't know much about the phase lock loops in this thing, but anyway, I tore into it tonight, unfortunately. So, or fortunately for whatever, however it turns out, I removed the FM board and I guess the IF board on top of this thing here that were in there, and these were, when I got the radio, I think there was like one screw holding these down, so somebody had wanted to get in here and fool around anyway. So I pulled out the two boards here, and what goes in there? Well, there's a master oscillator board. This is called the master VCO board, I think, or major VCO board. And this one has 4 VCOs. The bands are set up into 4 different VCOs. Anyway, people were saying to solder the board up, so I kind of just hopefully didn't cross any connections, but I spent some time tonight going through most of these and putting on some good solder again with my, I think I got a Weller down there. Anyway, that's the little beastie that I've had forever that I solder with. It's temperature controlled. And there's my solder I've had since probably 1984, so still haven't lost that yet. Went through this thing and I think I hit most of the connections, so it was tedious, but I don't know. Will that help it? It looks like somebody had soldered a potentiometer here before, and that's all they did, so I doubt this will help it. It's probably an adjustment or something, but hey, you know, when you're desperate and people say it works, give it a try. Here's the minor oscillator. I was thinking it would be this minor oscillator because all the bands had the same problem. It seems though the problem gets worse as the frequency goes up. And on this board, there was a missing, this plug was like out and sitting in the bottom of the radio. So that could have been a problem right there. How could the plug be in the bottom of the radio? Hey, that could be it right there. So this plug was sitting on the bottom of the radio, and maybe that was a problem. I put it back in, and I hope that it's in correctly with the little symbol that was there. I guess we'll find out, but it's number 28, and I wonder what number 28 does. But anyway, yeah, that guy was in the bottom of the radio, and I thought it was just sitting, that little plug was just sitting down here all by itself, disconnected, and I thought, well, that's weird, and I don't remember seeing it when I was soldering, but then I just soldered it plugged back in there, so wire 18. Anyway, now it's time to put all this muck back in here and see if this thing goes. Man, oh man, so 10,000 wires, they're all numbered, of course. The boards have numbers, and they all go in the numbers, so hopefully I didn't cross one connection, because if you cross one connection, the board will not function, and you probably won't find where it was, and you could smoke something out, so yeah, it's been tedious. I think, though, that one wire, number 18, ought to be interesting if I can find out what it does. I wonder if I can find out what number 18 does here. Let's take a look and see what that one does. Number 18 on the minor oscillator board. So I was looking through the boards trying to figure out how they worked tonight, and the theory was, there's a lot of theory about these boards, that's for sure, how they work. It's kind of above my pay grade, I think. I'm not a true electrical engineer, but I hack around, right? So let's see what we got here. Where's this? Okay, minor loop board layout right there. So there's a minor loop board, and that's this little sucker right here. Yeah. Just like that. There she is. So I want to see what number 18 does. Yeah, if you want to go to sleep, I think my talking tonight will put you to sleep, for sure. Is it 18 I want? Which one is it? It is number 81. 18 or 81, let's see. 18 or 81? 81. It's 81. So, yeah, let's find out what connection 81 did. 81 is the one that I found right there. This guy was in the bottom of the radio, just laying around. That little connector was off the board. So what does 81 do? Okay, 81 and 82 are, it looks like a voltage supply. So what does it really do? Maybe it wasn't needed. 81 goes to 82. It looks like it supplies something with voltage that was needing it outside of the radio. So some other board is going to want 81, and it wasn't getting 10 volts and 12 volts. So that's, okay, that's good. So something wanted voltage from this board, didn't get it. So maybe that would fix it. We'll see. I don't know. Anyway, it's time to put these little turkeys back in here and see if they work still. So I got to put that back on, see if it'll go. So it'll be a miracle if this thing still works. After all this hacking around and rummaging around. Yeah, the guy I bought this from, I was really kind of mad because I told the guy, I said, this thing, you know, he sold him his parts, but I said, people have been rummaging around this radio like crazy, and they have. They were all in here messing around with it. So, yeah, it must have had this VCO problem before, and people were trying to fix it. I guess they didn't do it. The other thing about this radio was the bottom of it's all chewed up as far as scratches. I'm not sure what people were doing to this thing, but it's kind of a junkyard. So let's see the bottom of it here. The bottom is disgusting. Well, it's not disgusting. It's just not savory. So the bottom is all, whoa, the bottom is all scratched up. I don't know if the scratches come through in the camera here, but it's all scuffed up. It's all scuffed. They got different size screws in this thing. I think this radio has been from pillar to post. All right, so hopefully I can figure out where all these wires go. Dang, there's a lot of wires in here. What's this wire do? This looks like it's a jumper wire. I just didn't, so it's 82. Okay, that looks like a power wire. So yeah, the ends are always the same number, which is kind of cool in this thing, so the Paragon. So put that back in there. Where's old 81 at? Where are you, 81? I know 81 was like a missing wire. There's got to be 81 somewhere, right? 81, 81, 81. If that pin was in the bottom of the radio, there's got to be like an 81 here somewhere. 81, 81, 81. There it is. Look at that. 81. So, yeah, that powered this board here. And if this board wasn't getting power, that's a master oscillator board, it should have gotten power. So I'm not sure why that was. Maybe it was in there and it was in there loose. I don't know. Anyway, it'll probably improve something. So, yeah, I think this sets the whole frequency of the whole radio up to get it aligned. I can look at that later. So I'm learning a lot more about this thing than I wanted to. And what's next? So I ordered a real-time clock chip for this thing right here. This thing doesn't work anymore. It doesn't keep good time. Power off. There's no battery in it. The battery's dead. So I ordered one of these. I ordered a socket to put in here. This board comes out easily. You can just yank this board out and fix it. So that's what I'll do with that. I find this thing has lots of noise. So if you put your hands over here, all the noise gets into the antenna on the radio. Maybe coax outside the house will solve that, but there's a lot of peripheral noise. And as you know, we fixed the display last week, and I found this little jumper here that I lost on the floor. So it's display's working. So really what needs to be done now is the phase lock loops need to be addressed, why they're noisy and why they... my phase lock loops always lock. I can go on all across all the bands fine. It's just that I have this weird stuttering or almost like a 120 or a 60 cycle hum in my SSB and reception on CW. So the AM is fine. Anyway, if I do tune to AM and I have a low AM signal and I tune to one side of it, I can hear some of that crap coming in. So it's almost like there's something coming in from the phase lock loops into the passband board or something and screwing things up. I don't know. This is a complicated radio. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. I think some real good engineers back in the late 80s designed this radio. And they're worth their payout, that's for sure. All right, well, thanks for watching. It's my little historical Paragon 2. The best technology from 1993. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.